Hey, what's up? This your girl Jodi with a Jodi Inspired Show. Check out this interview with Chuck Creekmur. He's the CEO of AllHipHop.com, revolutionary, host, talking head on MSNBC, BET, TV1, VH1, Fox, and so many more. You don't want to miss this discussion. We're talking about the past, present, and future of hip hop, how today's music is impacting Black lives and the culture. We share our experience working in the industry with your favorite celebrities. Check out this interview. Oh, hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Mr. HipHop.com?
I'm good.
Wow.
Good to see you.
I haven't seen you in a long time. It's been a minute since we've seen each other.
I know.
Wow.
I know it's been a long time. What's good?
All right. So let me ask you, okay, before we get started, can you do me a huge favor? Can you share this video to your page? You know how to do that?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and share it to your page and let everybody know that you want here. We're gonna be having some real talk. Now, Chuck, are we allowed to have real talk, or is this a little real talk? Or can we like talk?
Do what you do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was just telling everybody a little bit about myself.
Okay.
So
keep going.
Huh?
I said keep going. I was listening.
Okay. So of course, like most young people, I looked up to the celebrities, the singers and the dancers and the rappers, and when you're young, you try to find your way and try to figure out like what you want to be and what you want to do, and so I guess I wanted to, I had this passion about entertainment, like most young kids. And I started out doing internships. I was the first to go to college. I went to Ohio State University with my family. And I went to Ohio State University. Can you hear me okay?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So while I was working, I'm sorry, I'm all stuttering. While I was at Ohio State, I did a bunch of internships. I did Radio 1, I did MTV, I did Def Jam, and did I say BET yet? Okay, I interned at BET in Washington, D.C. Now that's how I really got started. They told me, they said, Jodi, and look, don't stop here. Keep going.
Right.
So they introduced me to Stephen Hill. And while I was in college, I just, sent them videos after videos and, the entire time I was in college. So I wanted to be a host like AJ and Free, so when I got out of college, I graduated in DC, in December. And then I went to New York City in January. One day I'm gonna tell my whole story, but it's not about me. But I went ahead, started working at BET right out of college, and that's when I met you. And so can you tell us, give us your name, because almost everybody already know who you are, but tell us who you are. How did you get started? Like, what inspired you to get into entertainment?
I started in Delaware, which is where I'm from. Okay. And I won't say, I don't know, I guess I did aspire to get in entertainment, but I aspired to, mostly write. But prior to becoming like a writer, I was doing just about everything, in terms of hip hop, that is. Okay. And, so my experience in the game was not about money or fame or anything or any things. It was really just about being really dope at whatever it is I do. And so ultimately, when career time comes around, you have to make some decisions. You can't rap, you can't break dance, you got to really figure out what to do. So I chose writing, and I became really good at writing.
Yeah.
So my goal was to write. My ultimate dream was to be the editor-in-chief of the Source magazine. And of course, the Source was highly competitive, and it was a lot of people that vied for that position. And then along the way, I started doing all hip hop. Yeah. So by the time we had met, I had moved to New York. I had, gone through a couple of jobs, some hard times too. And BET was like the new dream job because it gave me stability and allowed me to really put in work. Yo, what up, Mick? Big Mick Benzo. That's my man right there. That's Ice-T's manager. That's the OG, the real OG, New York OG. But yeah, so that was kind of like BET was like it. You know what I'm saying? By that time, I was writing for the Source Vibe and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So things were moving by then. But BET was like, it was kind of a good way because I was at the .com, and we were innovative. I should say. Shout out to my man Black Spot, Larry Hester, aka Black Spot.
Yeah.
Mike
I remember Black Spot.
Yeah, Tanya Pendleton and all those folks, But all hip hop was going that whole time. So all hip hop was pushing, was doing its thing, no question. So that's how I got the job at BET. We weren't making that crazy money, but we were making our money, but we were hiring people.
Okay.
So it was like we were just, ooh, let me get this money. We were building our company.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we were doing. And along the way, your dreams start to come true.
Yes.
Your dreams start to manifest. You start to, like my man Mick Benzo, I'm looking at old pictures of us, Ice-T, and I'm like, yo, my dreams are manifesting.
Yes.
I don't really see it like that at that point. But, shoot, Mick, I'm wearing a body count shirt right now. That's Ice-T's rock band. So Ice-T is like my dude, man. So I like represent the real all the time.
Hold on 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second.
Yeah. What up, Big Mick? I heard Ice-T got a new singer. We gotta talk about it.
Okay, sorry about that. I had a little background music. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta hear him all the way. I ain't gonna want to hear the music more than I hear you. So
yeah, I heard.
All right. So okay, so back to you. So so you done started. I mean, you done watched the transition. You watched music from pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for, Chuck? Because I'm one of the people that I'm not really big on words, but you've watched music go from the 80s, however long, the 80s all the way up to now. Like what's changed? Like what are some of the positive things that you've seen and some of the negative things that you've seen in music?
I think the positives. Let me start with the positives. Okay. The positives is that the culture is very. Well, let me just say this. When I came through, hip hop began a renaissance. It was a cultural renaissance. It was a revolution, even like a revolution of mental and cultural and creative thinking. It was a mind revolution. Yes. So people like Ice-T, Chuck D, Rakim, even some of the others like Public Enemy, obviously, but NWA and things. These people were changing how we were thinking. These people were introducing new ideas. These people were predicting what was to come. And not only them, but folks like De La Soul, Queen Latifah, even 2 Live Crew. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of people who were, body count. and so that's where hip hop for me hit hard. Yes. It was about right here. That was what it really was. And so De La Soul was, they were just so creative, and I was listening to them through my old iPod because a lot of their music is unavailable on streaming services. Mm-hmm. But just say all that to say that, hip hop was a revolution. Yes. It is a revolution. So the good parts is it's still a revolution. The bad parts is sort of the business part, the influx of business people or culture vultures or, folks that don't have the community's best interests at heart are taking it and promoting it the way they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get the consciousness or the songs like Self-Destruction or whatever. And it's not really about being positive all the time or any of that. It's really about us being authentically ourselves and putting that out without people with money and power steering the car that way. Is that kind of what happened? Like the people with the money and the power kind of like took over the music? I think so. I think that, it's crazy. I just watched this crazy movie called Judas and the Messiah. And it's about Fred Hampton's murder and the man that betrayed him. And, you know, it kind of reminded me of hip hop in that this man in his personal life got caught up doing some stuff and basically turned into a huge rat and infiltrated the Black Panther Party and betrayed the Black Panther Party and led to the assassination of one of its leaders, which was Fred Hampton. And so I think about hip hop in that, like, we are easy to kind of buy. Like, a lot of us will sell out for a couple coins. And if you have to do something that may impact, like if me getting ahead means I've messed up somebody's kids or their family, I don't really want that money. Like, that's not good money to me. And so I think that too many of our people have, you know, thought only of their family or only of their situation, and they have, oh, let me just get this bread. I'm not your parents. I'm not your mom. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not raising you. And they just carry on. And that's, you know, to each his own. That's just not how I move. So to answer your question, it's pretty much yes. I think that, you know, and there's a racial aspect. Racism is pervasive in that too, you know, where people that have no means or don't feel like they have means to get out of their situation do whatever that takes. And that pathway tends to skew towards entertainment, basketball, drug dealing, and things like that. It just, sometimes it's promoted that that's the only route we have.
So I've had like kind of like debates with people about, you know, they're like, well, you know, everyone listens to that music, you know, and everyone's not out there shooting and killing and, you know, things like that. And I'm just like, the difference, I think, between, I'm just going to be, okay, there's going to be some people that's not going to be very happy with, you know, some of the things that, yeah, okay. The difference between us and them is their kids, like when kids turn on, the young people turn on music, I mean, when they turn on videos and they're watching things, they try to find them in the person that they're watching. They're trying to, you know, relate to that person. They're trying to, you know, and that person looks like them. When I was younger, like back in the day, there wasn't too many brown-skinned women on television when I was younger. So I had to look at Oprah Winfrey. Matter of fact, Oprah Winfrey was the only person, brown person, my skin complexion, that I saw on television. And then as I got older, the next person that I looked at was Nia Long. Like, she's a little lighter than me, but I started seeing more brown people on television that I could relate to. So when these young people are trying to learn who they are turning to the things like television and music and things like that. And now, like when we were growing up, you know, there was 2-parent homes. But now it's more single-parent homes, and the oldest child is raising the kids, and the music and the TV and the YouTubes and all that stuff is raising our babies. So if they're only watching those type of things all day, every day, it's going to affect them more than it affects somebody else that doesn't watch it that often. And also, the people that they're looking at don't look like them. So so I'm sorry, go ahead. Like,
no, I agree with you. I mean, when I think about the people that I idolized growing up, obviously, you know, I had Run DMC, but I also had like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Chuck Norris. Looking at like Lethal Weapon. I was like, I ain't watching no Lethal Weapon, man. They did Danny Glover dirty in that movie. You know, I'm not watching that no more. We don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm like thinking back. Action Jackson was a movie that starred Carl Weathers, who was Apollo Creed in Rocky. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, Rocky, the whole franchise is fraudulent. But Action Jackson was like the only superhero type action guy we had, and that was only a one-off. They didn't even have a sequel for that. So, you know, we have to look at this in a larger context. And again, man, it all leads back to white supremacy and institutional racism. And there's no, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So when you think of hip hop, I'm like, man, I want another Ice-T.
Yeah.
We're in a time I want another Chuck D. Where's Kendrick Lamar?
Yes.
Where's
Yes.
J. Cole? Like, where are the voices that are very much so in that vein, but still not really not around right now?
Have we dropped the ball?
I think we have. I mean, it's hard to say that because a lot of people won't admit it. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people won't admit it, but I think we have dropped the ball. I think there's some people who have tried to fight that fight, but I think that more often than not, and this is a hard truth, but they haven't put on people when they should have. Certain artists kept performing or kept putting themselves out there, and they could have had opportunity to put on someone else, or they didn't start a label, or they took that bread instead of creating their own institutions. And yeah, and then you got the young rapper who would sign a 360 deal and just, get a farm away, And then there's a lot of good people too. Like I was watching how T.I. didn't take 21 Savage's whole, for $1 million. He's like, if I give you $1 million, I'm gonna take everything. I'm just letting you know you shouldn't do that, and doesn't do that. So 21 Savage is allowed to be his own person. Right. So I don't want to be too hard on us. Mm-hmm. We were learning as we were going along with people who had been, in the mob, or, doing all these practices for all those years, stealing publishing, all the Sam Cookes and Ray Charleses and, all those people, they got ripped, they got jerked, George Clinton, James Brown, all those people got jerked so badly, that, Michael Jackson comes along, you're like, he's gangster, on the low, he talking low, high pitched voices, but Mike was like,
he was gangster.
That's why Mike had so much trouble. Yeah, man. So that's.
Someone had mentioned to me the other day that we possibly have a lost generation, or a couple of generations that have been lost. How do you feel about that?
Do we have a lost generation?
Do we have a lost generation? Folks that we just lost. And
well, I hate to put that on any generation, honestly, but it is tough to stomach some of the stuff that we see in social media, and that's a whole nother animal. But you see a group of dudes attack a young black woman in Harlem. You see savagery in ways that don't feel natural. You see people killing each other over parking spaces, and you know what I mean. So, and for me, honestly, and beyond that, I just see stupid stuff. I'm like, and this is not to judge anybody. Mm-hmm. There's a silhouette challenge. There's a now and then challenge. There's there's I'm trying to learn about crypto. I'm trying to learn about crypto and generational wealth.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn how to do my company to the best of its ability so that we can continue to represent for the community and work with the hip hop community in a way that that keeps us strong, So I don't think we've lost a generation, and if we did, I don't even want to put that in the air.
Okay. So do the celebrities, do they have these conversations? Have you come across a conversation this, with a celeb?
I mean, I think they do. I think we do. I mean, I listen to Royce the 5'9", for example. I talk like Ice-T. I keep saying that name, but Ice-T, I interviewed him for 2 hours, and I interviewed KRS-One for 3. I interviewed Chuck over 2. So we're having those conversations. I don't know about the younger generation, though. I mean, I would hope so, man. I would hope that they're getting mentored at least. And I think they are T.I. I know that he talks to a lot of the young generation. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, he's another one. So I think it's happening, but I think the problem is not enough people are willing to be daring and have those to their audience. They'll have it with an older audience but they don't necessarily, that doesn't necessarily trickle down.
But why aren't like some of the ones that still have like, that still, we're getting older. So like, I know a lot of, you know, a lot of artists our age aren't really making music like they used to, but I know that.
Hold on one second. Let me just read this what Mick said. Again, Mick is Ice-T's manager. He said, you have to remember that things change, music changes, and we're trying to keep hip-hop alive, and we must be able to speak to kids actually doing it today, because they should be doing things that we could, because they should be doing things we relate to, but remember, music changes.
Yes.
You know, and like, to speak to that real quick, I'm not that guy, man. I mean, if you look at my Spotify, which is public, you will see mostly new era artists. You know, I don't go too deep. I have a daughter who's a teenager, and so we exchange. We have a healthy musical exchange. She loves Lil Durk, for example, but I actually introduced her to Lil Durk years ago in an interview. I interviewed him. So we have a good, healthy dialogue, and Lil Baby is another one. So I'm absolutely not that dude who's just all angry and cranky and mad over hip hop. I'm not. I just want us to be empowered. It's just simple. I just want us to be empowered and empowered.
So how do we do that?
It's not hard. I mean, it just amounts to you sticking to your guns. You know, and again, like I keep mentioning, like people like Ice-T, but people like Ice-T, Chuck D, KRS-One, like they went through storms. They went through, you know, when the president shouts your name out in a bad way, that's some stuff. When the Jewish community is mad at you, or the gay community, or whatever community is on your back, or even the black community, because remember, the black community had issues with hip hop too. And you kind of stand firm in your space, and you take on that storm. That's real. Nowadays, especially with social media, it's so much harder for people to stand firm in their truth and what they really feel. So a lot of people either shut up or go with the wave. So in order to stay empowered, I think you have to just be strong, and you have to train your mental and your physical, and believe what you're saying. You know, like Lil Baby had a dope song last year, which I can't remember the name of it, but it was literally a dope song. But I think he fell back. He was like, hey, I'm not really, I don't know. I'm gonna just do my thing, and and that's cool. I don't think you should also speak out when you're not ready to. But that song was authentic. It was a real song, and it was very much, it was well received. So I think people get shook when white people are, well, I don't want to say white people, but I just feel like people don't want to hear from you, like LeBron, or like whatever the case may be. Like they don't want to hear you speak that truth anymore.
Do you think like if more people like started to like do it, then I mean, because the thing about black people,
everybody's doing it now though. Everybody's doing it now.
Everybody's doing it. See, but the thing about black people, anything that we touch turns to gold. So we pretty much create the trends, or we create whatever we do. They love it. Some of them, they don't like us, but they love our culture. They love what we do. They love everything about us, except they just don't like us. Some folks don't like us.
Yeah,
but
it's hard to stomach that. It's hard to stomach that people love the culture but don't necessarily love us, and that's all. I think that we're always kind of, and this is the funny part, I think we're always looking for that validation. Not me personally, but I think a lot of us are looking for white people to like us, and that's tough. We are integrated. We are all Americans. So, it's like your neighbor giving you the ice grill every day when you walk out. You're like, dang, bro, like I live right next to you. We can't be cool, so I don't know, man, but I think that all is real, like, that's baggage that we've carried from generation to generation.
So, how, like, the older people normally pass the baton. And like,
yeah,
I feel like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the older artists that are older now did not pass the baton.
well, it's yes and no. It's yes and no. You know, think about when you're gonna find when's there gonna be another. Again, I keep saying the same artist over.
It's like
So when are you gonna find another Chuck D? You're not. When you gonna find another Ice-T? You're not. When you gonna find another? There's a lot of people that are one of one, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Now there are people like, you know, Dr. Dre, good example. Dr. Dre, he has passed the baton multiple times, multiple generations, and he has been able to replicate stars. I just think it's really tough. You know, it's hard. You know, J. Cole is actually doing it right now. He has this whole crew. You know, those guys, JIDs and the Spillage Village and all those guys. They're killing it. But to recreate a J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, that whole crew, TDE, but Kendrick is special. You know what I mean? So it's hard to talk about passing the baton when everybody ain't built for that run or that race or that type of or have that type of talent. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I wish? And I dream and I wish. You know how Michael Jackson and them did the We Are the World? I wish like the hip hop like artists could come together and do like a joint, you know, like We Are the World type thing. Like
Jermaine Dupri tried to do it.
What happened?
Nobody wanted to do it. He tried.
He wanted to do it?
I don't think people on that type of time right now. Jermaine Dupri tried to pull together a, I don't want, you know, whatever ensemble type of song, but yeah.
Well, maybe you know how there's certain people that can bring everybody together, and then there's certain people that can't. Well, maybe they need like a more of a.
Ooh, I mean JD, he got good. He's good. He's good money. You know, it's not Jay-Z. It's not Diddy, but.
What if Jay-Z or Diddy did it? You think they would come? No.
I mean, they not. You gotta remember, man. These guys. First of all, Jay is like damn near retired. Diddy, same thing. I mean, they probably would look at it as corny, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a different day.
You know, like, you know, back in the day, like. Big, he made a song, the 10 Crack Commandments, you know, and I, you know, I wasn't, you know, I'm not a hip hop specialist or anything like that, but I know these young guys, the music that they're listening to these days, they put the money, this big stacks of money to their ears, and they have all this money, and they doing this and they doing that. I'm like, hey, Biggie didn't tell you guys to do this, like.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Biggie gave the full. He gave the full. The 10 Crack Commandments, he actually did give you everybody the whole game right there.
He did, but they're not the young people these days. They're doing the complete opposite of what Biggie told them to do. Oh, they're showing all their money. They're just, I mean, everything Biggie told them to do, they are doing. Told them not to do, they're doing it these days.
Man, them young boys never even heard Biggie, man. They don't even know about Biggie like that. They weren't even alive when Big was around.
So like. They're getting bad information. They're getting some really bad information, Chuck.
Yeah, because if you, I mean, that's facts. Because if you have a good OG or an uncle or a father or somebody who's lived even a little bit, they should pull you to the side and say, hey, yo, you look like food to a wolf right now, you know, and we've seen on social media one of these kids, he was flashing money on the gram, on his live, and I guess they could tell where he was. They pulled up on him and robbed him right then and there. And Pop Smoke, God bless his soul, he slipped up and put his location of where he was, and later that night he was murdered. So unfortunately, I think that not enough kids are living before they get on social media. They're getting on social media and then living, and when that happens, it's just too many opportunities for people to take a loss.
We're losing a lot of artists to gun violence. Have you noticed that?
We're losing a lot of people to gun violence, but yeah, the artists are living reflection of what's going on. You know, so everybody wants to rap now. You know, and the bar is low. You don't have to be great. You don't have to be good. You could be average and really be making waves because you show, which is probably not a full representation of who you are, but you showing on social media your guns and your money and your crew, and the feds are watching the whole time, and then you gotta show and prove.
So where do
you know what I'm saying?
Do you think do you think the way that hip hop is going now, like, do you think it's gonna last for another 20-25 years or so?
Oh yeah. We got this. I just hope hip hop is I'm pretty sure it'll be forever. The question is, you know, what does it look like in the future? But in this day, hip hop, you have to be authentic in hip hop. You just have to. And to this day to now, if you're not authentic, you're getting your card pulled, and a lot of people are getting their card pulled. Right? Wow. Yeah, so yeah, I just want to see the art of it. You know, we had rock and roll, we had jazz, and hip hop could go that way. It's still not impossible, but I believe we'll maintain the culture. And really, if you look at hip hop, the way it's going, the skill level is going up.
It's going up. What do you think it's gonna take to get that change?
It's just gonna take people sticking to their guns, really. You know, sticking to their guns. You know, all hip hop has done that, and we're, I think, a better company for it. But if the artists continue to stick to their guns and not sell out or just be business people, you know what I'm saying? Stay business minded. You know, if you look, like, again, J. Cole is a perfect example, but there's many others. You know, T.I. is a great example. You know, I'm just pulling from the air right now, but these people have maintained their integrity, and they have partnered. You know, even Jay-Z, you know, he's done a lot of partnerships, and those partnerships you can build on. So it's not about not working with anyone, and it's not about that, but it's about building and having a equal seat at the table. You know, an equal, you know, a really equal or not so equal, but you coming at them from a strength of power, which is what someone like Jay does, Snoop does, you know, people like that do.
Someone asked me the other day to name a black leader. Someone that's fighting for the people, that's out there.
Yeah.
Chuck, I couldn't give him a name.
Well, I mean, Tamika Mallory, we got a lot of leaders. Okay. We got a lot of leaders. We got a lot of leaders, but here's the thing. Remember, our leaders came through white media, traditional, mainstream media. We don't talk about it, but Malcolm, Martin, and others came through traditional media. Now, traditional media has they peep game. They like, oh snap, these guys got powerful through our televisions. So what do? They pull back from the real leaders, and then a lot of times they'll put up who they want to put in front of America. So they putting smart people in front of America. They putting academics in front of America. You know, very smart people, but not necessarily leaders of people. You know, not someone who can get 1,000 people to a rally or 10,000 or 20,000. You know what I'm saying? So we have our leaders. Trust me, I know all of them. I know a lot of them, most of them, and they're very, very, very pure-hearted, and that's the problem. When when you pure and your intentions can't be bought, and you say, yo, you can get on TV, but you can't mention this, or but you can't be down with that person, or but, and then you say, nah, that's my people. I'm not going to talk bad about them, or I'm not going to denounce them, or whatever whatever the situation is. Then they quietly find someone else. You know what I'm saying? The last time I was on Fox this is a long time ago. Actually, my mom found this tape, by the way, so I'm about to do the most on Throwback Thursday.
Okay.
I was on Bill O'Reilly back in the day. You remember Bill O'Reilly? Bill O'Reilly was eating people up every week on his show. Every day, it seemed like. Every day he was eating people up. So I was on Bill O'Reilly. I was on there twice. And each time, me and my business partner, Greg, we rehearsed. Because I was on there twice. He was on there once. And we rehearsed. I was Bill, and then he was Bill. And we,
No, y'all didn't.
You know what I mean? Yes, we did. We rehearsed it because we were watching it so much. We knew what Bill O'Reilly would say. We would rehearse how we were going to respond. So Bill would have, always try to catch people. We ate Bill O'Reilly up. And finally, the last time Fox asked me to be on there, they were like, look, we need you to say this. This is what we need you to say. And I was like, and my dumb self was like, no, I'm not going to do that. When I should have said, yeah, I'm going to do that. Cool, no problem. And then do what I want to do.
Right.
But
that's what
I'm not
Kanye
do
does.
Right. But they ended up finding somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that just gonna get up there and look like a bozo. And so that's what happened. So so they'll find somebody.
One thing I learned in entertainment, it's like not everybody, so many people are trying to work to get to the top, but they don't understand, like the top of the entertainment. They don't understand that the top of the entertainment is not always as glamorous as they think. Everything that glitters is not gold. And I learned, I'm the only child. My mom's the only child. I mean, I moved in DC. I moved to New York. No family, no friends. It's me with big dreams and big goals. And I got to see the top. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. This is not what I saw on TV. Like, I felt like I was lied to. And I'm like, it definitely wasn't like, I mean, I love it, but when you got that passion, when you love what you do, like, I love and every time I try to walk away, I kept getting pulled back into it. I'm like, I'm done with this. And I love it so much. But to you, when I was working at BET, I saw you. And you maintain you smile. You were always, I mean, you're the good guy. You're the good guy in entertainment. And I was wondering, like, how did you continue? And I still watch you. I've been watching you for years. How did you maintain that good guy and all this out in the industry?
It's hard to I don't know. Well, you know what? I got a good family situation, family structure, meaning my mom, my brother. We're tight. By that time, my daughter was born, and I just never been the type to fall victim to the trapping of the game. Whether it's money, whether that's fame, whether that's having like the baddest chick or whatever. Like whatever you want it to be, whatever that is. That was never my thing. I hate phony people. I don't like phony people. I don't like people that use people. I like genuine, real people. And I associate with only, oh, snap. I just caught hold on, let me see something. Never mind. Saw RIP. I don't know who RIP'd, but I just saw something, a notification.
You got a notification?
Whatever it is, we'll see it after this.
Okay.
But
someone passed away?
But I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, so I surround myself with real people. And that's it. And yo, like you just mentioned, I've been to the top, and I'm still at a high level, but I've been to the top, you know, meetings with everybody, you know, deals with everybody, you know, and, you know, these bags, you may not be able to see them because of my ring light, but
you look good. You look good. You look good.
Thanks. I got bags though, and they haven't left, you know, and that stress, and I've seen people around me change, and I noticed, you know, when we made money, you know, more people that weren't genuine came around, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I don't value that. That's not. I'm from Delaware. I'm blue collar at heart. Working class parents, and I'm not saying I'm scared of the top, because that's a real thing too. But I'll say that everything that glitters is not gold, and all that. A lot of that is just fake. You know, people pretending to be wealthy or pretending to have a car and they leasing or renting or whatever, you know. So that was never my thing. And when I never flashed no money. I never flashed no cars, no houses, none of that.
You know, the richest people, they don't wear their wealth. Like the richest, the billionaires and millionaires, you don't know that they're rich. They be walking down the street with you, you wouldn't even know. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, one of the craziest, I'm gonna tell you a little story. We were at a very wealthy white guy's house, right? Beautiful house out in the suburbs of Philly. And me and two of my buddies, we all had the illest cars. At that time, we were, oh man, it was a beautiful thing. Like, we were literally, after the meeting, we were literally out in front of this dude's house, just kind of admiring our cars, right? And yo, this dude pulled out the back in a Honda Pilot, drove right past all of us, like, all right, guys, see you. You know, I was like, what? Yo, I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy has more than us. Not positive.
Are we getting the wrong information? That goes back to getting. Are we getting the?
We have things attached to us, man. We want people to know we're valuable. We want people to know. That's why Lil Uzi Vert put a 24 allegedly.
The pink diamond.
Yeah, like, allegedly. Like, we still don't know for sure if it's a real $24 million pink diamond in the middle of his forehead. But just suppose it's true. Come on, dog. Like, for real? You know, so another rapper did the same thing. He put a teardrop diamond on his face, embedded in his face. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? You know, because 24 million can feed people. 24 million is multiple businesses. 24 million is investments. You know, that's a lot of stuff. But we have to show people we got more than all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, whatever the reason is. It's crazy.
So Chuck, what would the older you tell the younger you?
Yo, the older me would take care of me a little bit more. The older me, the younger me was very giving, very generous, very you know what I mean? He was a nicer guy, man. I would have took care of myself a little bit better. That's what I would have done for sure. Myself and Greg, my business partner, both of us probably feel similar to that. That said, you live and you learn. I'm not saying I regret anything, but the folks, I don't want to say too much about that. It's much respect to everybody, because who's to say what would have happened if we hadn't taken that route? But I do know that, you know, appreciation is appreciation. The things that you gave someone you don't do it for selfish reasons, but I think in the back of your mind, you kind of be like, you know, you want some reciprocation there. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's all. You know, shout out to everybody.
Yeah. So do you think music will be this way if Tupac and Biggie were still here?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. I know one thing. Some of these rappers, I think they be wanting to die because they said, "Oh snap, look, we gonna die anyway. I might as well die now and be famous forever." You know, I can't help but think some of these cats are living like that because I'm looking at. I want to live to be an old man, and I want to see grandkids and stuff like that. And these cats, they be living like they want to die famous. I'm like, nah, I'm pretty cool with not dying famous and leaving a strong legacy. Right. You know, but I'm pretty convinced these cats are like, yeah, let me die. Oh, Big Pac, they eternal. You know, so that's the only thing I can say about that.
So what about the women? What about all the fake breasts and fake boobies and boobs and...
That's not for me to answer. That's for you to answer.
I mean, well, I'm sick of it. If I get the answer, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of the fake breasts.
Hey.
I'm sick of the fake boobies.
My cup says you can do it. Do whatever you want. That's for you to
but you know something? Like, I got to give a shout out to Alicia Keys. Is she still doing the natural thing?
Yeah.
I love it. I wear the fake hair and stuff like that. But I mean, things are just getting out of control. Like the hair is going down to their heinies. The boobs, the booty, their rears are having like inflating and like also and they're dying to have these fake little bodies in hip hop. But the thing is, like, we're not supposed to be a size 5 for our entire life. We're getting older. Yeah. When you get older, you start having children. You're not the same person you were when you were, you know, before the kids and age. And these women are trying to have like the fountain of youth or something.
I mean,
you must like it. That's what it is. You like the big booties and the big breasts.
No, I'm straight natural.
Oh, okay.
I'm a natural type dude.
Okay.
Like I'm not judging, and I'm not saying I haven't had girlfriend, you know, whatever you have a weave or something. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's I skew hardcore natural.
You like okay.
That's my preference, and that's what I can speak to. Now, what someone else wants to do you?
Do you think that's kind of hurting the?
Yo, this thing.
The Lord, somebody didn't like that answer. Somebody didn't like that answer.
Every interview, this thing falls on my head because it used to be on the wall and it fell down, and so I just prop it up because I don't want to put too many holes in the wall. And so anyway, but what were you gonna say?
I was just saying that like the women, like, do you think it's kind of harmful with these messages that's being sent out to our? I mean, because no one else is doing all this stuff that we're doing.
My main thing is this. When we were coming up from the 80s to the early 2000s, we had a variety. We had Queen Latifah, we had MC, we had Salt and Pepper, we had Lil' Kim and Foxy, we had Lauryn Hill, we had Bahamadia, you know, and so on and so many more. And that's the problem.
So we need more.
We do need more. I mean, we have more. We have Rhapsody, we have Moo Fresh. Yeah. We also have Megan Thee Stallion, and we have Cardi B. There's a lot out there, but what gets promoted is the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions. And the Moo Freshes and the Rhapsodies, who are extremely dope and unequivocally, remarkably talented, don't get enough airtime, don't get enough promotion, don't get the $1 million deals. And that's the problem.
You know,
and the
thing about, you mentioned Megan Thee Stallion. Like, Megan Thee Stallion, she puts out these messages. Oh, I got two things I want. Megan Thee Stallion puts out these messages. and Cardi B puts out these messages, but Cardi B turned her own music off when her baby came in the room because she didn't want her baby hearing it. And Megan Thee Stallion's going to college. So I'm just like, hey girls, are you guys gonna put these messages out, huh?
But I don't think that those are like conflicting messages or anything, because no matter what, your little toddler shouldn't be listening to Cardi B.
That's right.
Period. So whether it's Cardi B or Ice Cube or whatever, your toddler shouldn't be listening to it. And I don't think that Megan, I mean, she should go to college, regardless of what type of music she's doing. It depends on how you look at it, but that's a good message. I personally, you know, I took a different approach. I faced that crossroads myself when I was, you know, for those that don't know, shout out to Cyrock, my man Tim reminded me of her. She's extremely dope, but she's a prime example of you know, an artist who, you know, she actually has a lyric. Oh my God, she has a song called, I think it's called Deliverance or Delivery or something like that. She just says, if I gotta sell out, then I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna be broke. If I gotta sell, you know what I'm saying? Like, just hold the line. You be your authentic true self, and you hold the line.
So wait a minute. So when Jay-Z said he would have been like Common, but it didn't make sense, was something like that around that.
Yeah.
So what that mean?
But look at Jay's origins. His origins is down with, you know, as a consciousness that he started out with. He was down with Jazzo, and they were very like conscious-minded dudes. So if you really go back far enough, Jay started out in another space. When he came into the 90s, he took it in another way. He had a master plan, and he executed it flawlessly.
Yeah, he did.
So if you think you're gonna fight the power rap 30 years, you could do that. But just know that your power will probably be limited along the way. It'll be monitored. You know, you're gonna get, you know, not shut down, but yeah, you're gonna get tempered. Your growth. So Jay came through with Big Pimpin', and he continued to grow, and then he became unstoppable. So now he can help out protesters, or he can donate money to this cause or that cause. He's got the millions to also make his personal capitalistic gains.
Is that kind of what like Oprah Winfrey did, right?
Yeah, because Oprah wasn't classy when she first started. Like she was like a trashy type of talk show host when she started. She had shock, shock content, and it took her to have the KKK on her show, giving the Klan a huge platform on her show for her to wake up and be like, yeah, I made a mistake. Let me not put these people in front of the world to actually maybe possibly grow their ranks. So it, you know, so she, you know, she started out in a similar way.
So as far as hip hop, like, how long is it going to take for you think the light bulb, or for us to start? Like, is it? I mean, because I want to live to see it. Like, I want to see us advance. Like, I want to see.
Well, you have.
Huh?
Nah, you got to look at it differently. I think we are seeing.
We're seeing it.
We're seeing. Yeah, we're seeing it. It's. I think that honestly, like, keeping it real, we got to stop looking for saviors, and we just got to look at ourselves and look at like-minded people and people that are willing to build, and reach out to them and support the ones that are doing it. And remember, you know, you earlier said you couldn't name a leader, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? They are literally there. Now, some of them may be on social media a bit much, but they're there, you know, and so we have to reframe how we look at it. The same way we had a black president. Nobody thought they would see a black president in their lifetime, but Barack, however you want to say, whether he was selected or elected or whatever, he put in that grassroots work to get to that point. It wasn't just, he gets plucked from, Yale or Harvard or something. I know people in Chicago that give him the stamp. because of the groundwork he put in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't look at it from that point of view, we'll never see it, because it's happening right now. It doesn't happen when it happens. It happens right now, or it started 5 years ago or 10 years ago. See, because I come from activist roots. I come from like literally, you know. So we sit here and we laugh at sort of like where we are now, or we laugh at certain people who are in the social media spotlight, because we like, well, where were you 10 years ago, or where were you 5 years ago, or when we were, you know, when people were in Ferguson, when people were in New York or LA. I mean, I met Nipsey Hussle at a community event, giving back of our time. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like a huge crowd. You know what I mean? So now it's trendy. So that's just a part of the journey. That's the same as the people in hip hop who started it. You know, the Melly Mel's and the Grandmaster Flashes and all those guys. Those guys put in the work early on, and know they didn't get half of what they're owed, not even a fragment of what they're owed, but it's just the way it is. So, yeah.
But you know, like, in the entertainment industry, one thing I learned was the circle is small. Getting into the entertainment industry was hard as heck back in the day. Yeah. But now with social media, it's like they don't have to put in the work, because it's at their fingertips. Like, it's like they just a few shares, and then
but do they get far though? Like, because what I've determined is that if you're good at social media and you got talent, you can go really far. But if you're only good at social media and you don't have the talent, I don't know that people are getting that far. They may get a lot of likes and followers, but are they really going far? Because all hip hop be struggling to find talent, because a lot of the talent, they look really good on social media, and then when they step up to the plate,
it's
nothing there. It's all an illusion.
You know, I wanted to mention how he's talking about, you know, how it takes work and things like that. Now that listening to you, I used to be mad at Funk Master Flex. I used to be mad at him, and I hope he sees this video, because I was his intern, and I quit on him, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why I quit. I quit because he was still carrying around a big, gigantic vinyl, big crates, and I had to pick up them 50-pound crates while Clue and everybody else had the laptops. They had crossed over to laptops and things, and Funk Master Flex, he was still.
He was making you carry the crates.
I had to carry the crates. I quit on him. I hope he sees this. And when I'm going to tell my story one day, I'm going to tell Funk Master Flex, I quit on him. I was probably the only intern that quit on him. I quit. And I came home. I said, look, I'm done. Like, Funk Master Flex, that was the icing on the cake. I said, look, I'm out of here. But I'm going to tell my story about that.
Flex got snatched. Flex got snatched. He got his liposuction.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Flex,
I was done with Flex. I was done with him. Like, so is he doing okay? He good?
Oh, he lost a lot of weight, but he got it sucked out.
Meaning to make him tighter?
He got liposuction.
Oh.
Yeah, he got liposuction. I mean, that's just a fun fact for you.
I didn't know. I see. Did Rick Ross have that down too?
I don't think so.
He was a big boy. He done came down. I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, I wonder how much pressure. I mean, he probably did because of health reasons and things like that. But how much pressure is being put on, looking a certain kind of way in the entertainment industry?
No, I think you got to look your best. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You got to be at your, you got to look your best as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
It's just simple. Yeah, it's just that simple.
I mean, but back in the day, like, people look regular back in the day. So why we got to be all flawless now?
I think things changed, but I think people still look their best back in the day. Yeah. I think they did, yeah. I mean, Biggie might call himself ugly, but he had on his Gucci and his fly gear and all that. He looked his best.
I mean, I think there was from where I mean, I think that from back in the day, I mean, there's a difference between clean and being Hollywood. Like today, these people, they don't look natural. They don't look I mean, they look uncomfortable to me. Like, you know, am I making sense?
Well,
like,
yeah, I hear.
Like,
I mean, I don't, you know, I can't even.
I mean, you always look comfortable. I mean, you look fine when you clean up very well. But like right now, you look comfortable and you still fly.
Thank you. But this ain't this old.
I mean, man, that's good on you. I mean, but people couldn't do that. Like everyone, like there's some people that feel like they gotta like be Hollywood and gotta put, you know, be fresh. I know it's just Jodi, you know, it's just Jodi Ann right here. But a lot of people feel like they gotta be someone else other than who they are, you know, like to impress. And I just wish I kind of wish our people would go back to being normal. And I kind of feel like COVID made, like, oh my God, I seen Puffy, P. Diddy. What does he go by now?
Oh, Diddy. Just Diddy.
Diddy, okay. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. Okay, so Diddy, the men are starting to look normal during COVID. And I'm like, this is what we need to see. Gray hairs and normal stuff. What do you think?
I mean, I think everybody's been humbled through COVID.
COVID humbled everybody.
Even Carew Daniels, who's somewhere on here commenting from Carew was at BET, I think, right? No, was he? I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, I just miss the old days. I miss the old music. I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch television. When I left New York, I stopped watching TV.
Well, how you gonna you gotta roll with the punches, or else, you know, it gets hard out here. Yeah. So you gotta stay relevant. You gotta stay up on what's popping.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but in a good way. You know, and manage expectations.
Yeah.
Because nothing's gonna feel the same way as when you were at a formative age.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna ever replicate that. So you just gotta move on.
Yeah.
And then get you know, when you feel like going back, go back. But for the most part, honestly, everything that's existed back in the day exists now.
Yeah.
And it's not it's really not even a lack of quality. It's a lack of promotion. It's a lack of it's a lack of promotion, lack of marketing. You know, America has changed, but pretty much the music is the same. If you like Outkast, that whole J. Cole crew, Dreamville, they very much in that space. The 90s Wu-Tang type, Raekwon and them, that space, you know, Griselda got that locked down. Even some of the pop rap, Drake is very much in the pocket of LL. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that much different.
You mentioned Outkast. Andre 3000 has been spotted out with a flute. And I love it. What do you think?
Oh, a flute?
The flute. Yeah, he's out with his little flute. But I mean, I read his article. He was just saying how I feel like there has to be other artists that feel like him, as far as like the direction of music and how he decided just to, you know, step away. I mean, because he was the man. Andre 3000 was the man.
I think he's living his best life.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Just living.
Would you? I mean, but as far as like, and I've seen a few artists that decided, oh, before I go there, before I let you go, we've lost a lot. We lost some of the best artists, legends. To what did we lose our legends to? What's the most common things we've lost our legends to?
Violence, really, right?
Violence, drugs.
Yeah, violence, drugs, a lot of drugs. Yeah, but people aren't taking care of themselves, and I think I appreciate the transparency that a lot of artists are showing to let us know that they need help. For as far as drugs is concerned, I think a lot of us went through some stuff, and because of the type of artists that we created back then, you couldn't talk about being on drugs that much. You know, like DMX is a good example. He was like the hardest rapper out, and he struggled with addiction, you know, that whole time.
I'm proud of him.
Getting the help. Yeah, now he's getting the help. But I think that you have a mental resilience and a physical resilience that allows you to overcome it, that our generation was able to either function with it or overcome it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that the people are cut like that now. I think some people fall victim to it, and they actually die a little sooner, because, you know, thinking someone who died of addiction back in the day is almost unheard of, you know. But now it's pretty common.
So is that the thing? And see, a lot of people like this interview is probably like the closest and the realest interview that they probably ever, you know, be close to a celebrity, or, you know, someone that's up in the entertainment industry. And a lot of things are like, can you talk about the drugs? Is that a part of the industry? Like, you go into, is that bad?
I don't even know. I'm sure it is, you know, but I honestly, I never smoked or drank, so I don't
what?
even.
You've never smoked or drank?
No, I never did previously. You know, like during my whole rise to the whatever you call it was done pure sober all the way. So I can't
awesome. Even. Do you think that may have helped you get through? Like, I
think it helped me be extremely focused. Extremely focused. And I just didn't kick it with people like that. So I don't know.
I knew you were different.
I gave away a lot of liquor, boy. Oh my God. I gave away so much liquor.
Are you reminiscing? You said you gave away a lot of liquor?
Because I eventually did take a drink, and I was like, oh wow, why I give all that liquor away? Now I'm like, not because, you know, I didn't buy liquor. So I was like, man, you know, so when you have to buy it, you're like, man, I don't want to buy it. Like, I used to get, what? I gave all that away. Now I gotta buy it.
So did you miss out on a lot of like invites and parties because you don't do what they do?
Probably. I'll never forget Angela Yee said to me, I don't trust anybody that doesn't drink. And that was actually like when I first started drinking, and I was like,
so I peer pressured you?
I ain't saying she peer pressured.
I know you got peer pressured.
I was like, nah, because I had already taken my first drink by then, but I'm still just a new jack.
Okay.
But I was just like, what's she mean by that? What does that mean? What do y'all do? Doing? You know.
Wow. So are you in New York City now? Where you located? What state?
I can't disclose.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah. So you okay.
Yeah, we around the way.
Okay. I like that. I'm about to use that. So if you could give like a piece of advice, like something that you wish you would have known, like going into the industry, things that you've learned, like, are there some things that you wish someone would have told you?
I don't have anything like that. I just think that I would just tell anyone, advice-wise, I would tell anyone to get a good mentor. Okay. I would tell them to get a good base for your skills. Know your skills. Continue to educate yourself. You never know it all. If I did make a mistake, I'll say the mistake that I might have made was at one point I thought we knew a lot more than we knew. And we didn't have mentors, because our mentors were all vultures, pretty much, you know, people who were trying to get a piece of the company, buy the company, you know, all that stuff. So we really didn't have good mentorship. But I would have actually gone outside of hip hop for the mentors, as opposed to within hip hop, which is something I didn't really consider. And that's it, you know, just educate yourself, get your skills up, network well, efficiently, honestly, and never look back.
Would you want your child to go into the entertainment industry?
I wouldn't have a problem with it. My daughter has been around enough to know that she can do that if she wants. But again, you know, the kids don't always have that commitment to excellence that I think I had for sure. So my daughter is a great photographer. She's been taking photos for a long time.
Yeah.
So I just, if she's gonna do it, my only thing is just go hard.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass me and go hard.
Okay. Okay.
You know, so I would say that I wouldn't have a problem with it because I feel like I'll be able to walk her through that, and you know, help her make different inroads without making mistakes.
So who's your top favorite artist? Like, give me 3 of your favorite artists. And why?
Man, my 3. Wow,
yeah,
that's
give me
crazy.
3 and tell me why they're your favorite.
I mean, that's hard, but I'll say that's real hard. But I'll say Jay-Z. I'll go with Jay-Z, Run DMC, and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, so why?
Yeah, Jay, because Jay just, he's a masterful chess player, played the game. He was a dope rapper, but you know, Jay sold at his height 5 million, I should say. At his peak, about 5 million. Never diamond, but he plays the game very well. Run DMC, for all the barriers they broke, they kicked in the door for modern day rap, for modern day pop success, endorsement deals, things like that. And the other one was Kendrick Lamar, because he represents the newer era of lyricism. He doesn't give too much, so he's not always in the front and the center. But when he comes through, the game changes. And he's to this day, you know, I called him out a little earlier because I'm really waiting for him to come through in this time right here, right now, the way he did a few years ago with We Gonna Be All Right.
Yes.
When that song came out, it was a necessary song.
That was like our theme. Like, was that like a theme song, or that was like a, you know,
yeah, that
was
our
like our anthem.
Like, that was our anthem. And now we need some more.
We do. And you know, you mentioned Jay. Like, Jay is one of my favorite artists also. And I did an internship with Def Jam. Yeah, I was under Rob. You know Rob Lev?
Of course.
Okay, so I was under Rob. Rob Lev was my boss. And so me and the street team, we out. And we putting up the little posters on the you know, out there. So that's when 4040 just opened. So we weren't old enough to get in 4040. We were young, you know, we weren't old enough. So we out in front of 4040 looking through the glass windows like, oh, you know, like, wow. So then some dude would tell us to get off the curb. They told us to move.
Right.
Why? You know what I'm saying? We work for Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta move? We got posters and stuff, and they told us to move. Next thing you know, Jay-Z started walking down the sidewalk. And Jay was like, nah, they good. And then he even dapped up one of my friends. Dapped him up, and that like blew his mind. But what people don't know is little stuff like that could change a young person's life. Just that one moment. We looking in the glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I love Jay, man. Awesome. I know there's controversy around him, but he always did right by all hip hop. We didn't get to make a deal, but it was good times for a long time, for a long minute there. And you know, Jay, it's the crazy thing with Jay is I make a little cameo in the Picasso Baby video. And, he did a video shoot for a whole day for that song. It was a performance art piece, and I stayed for the whole time. Like, you were only supposed to stay for like an hour, but it was like 6 hours, and I stayed for the whole 6. So towards the end of that song, the beat changes, and Jay circled the crowd at that point, and I was cool that day. I had my sunglasses on. You know, I was in my coolest cool. But when Jay started rapping to me, I was like, I lost all my cool. And they used that part in the video. I was like,
it's super cute though. I watched that. I watched that part over probably like a few times. Like, it was cute. So,
that was.
I know men don't really like the cute word, but yeah, it was cute.
It's all good. It's all. But nah, Jay's good, man. He again, he's a master. So I respect it. We masters in our field, and he's a master in his. And I think real recognizes real.
So what's the craziest thing you've experienced, like that you can share with us? Like, what's one of your most memorable moments? Something that will always stick with you.
I won't name the artist. Well, there's a few. I mean, there's endless memorable moments. But one artist, was super drugged out, passed out in the middle of an interview.
Wow.
Another artist, I can't say this one. Let's just say, yeah, it's hard to say this one, but let's say we have a few artists crying on camera, going through a couple crying, a couple emotional. Yeah, so there's a lot of a couple. Woo,
Come on, spit it out. We want the juice.
Yeah. I can't name the names, man. That's for the book or something. But yeah, some of these people be on drugs and man, crazy.
So do a lot of the celebrities have enablers?
I mean, I guess. I
like
think
friends,
but,
friends and family.
What I feel like what I witnessed was people very much in control. Like I don't get the sense that they just some raging drug addicts. I just think they were partying and just got caught out there sometimes. Yeah. Except yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's that. But for the most part though, All Hip Hop used to do All Hip Hop Week. When you talk about memorable moments, All Hip Hop Week was like we did for like 7 years straight or so. Mm-hmm. We did about seven, maybe a little less. We didn't quite get to 10. But All Hip Hop Week was, basically us doing, like at bare minimum 7 weeks of events. When we did the last one, it was 9 events. I mean, everybody from Diddy, Russell. I tell you that one time we hosted a party with Diddy and Russell, and they kicked Wendy Williams and her husband out the VIP.
This is
the party was so hot. They didn't leave. It was crazy. So everybody from LL Cool J to Cuba Gooding to like.
Man, what is it like being in a room full of all those like?
Yo, at that point, it was all good. Like it wasn't no fanfare. Like I don't have a picture with Macy Gray. Like it was just Herbie Hancock pulled up. I mean, these are legends, man. Like. I have pictures because Getty Images was taking pictures. I don't own the picture.
And that's another thing with people that work in the entertainment industry. It's like we're around them so often and so much. You're just like, regular to us. So, now that I have a few pictures, because I was with photographers and things like that sometimes. So they take a picture, snap a picture, whatever. But they're just regular people, just like us. And when they love being around regular people. They don't like what I've learned was that the celebrities came straight to me. Like all the other people was like running to them, pictures and things like that. And I sat there and they almost every celebrity walked over to me. Yeah. And I respect that. Here I am, little old me. I used to have my little hats on, my little khakis and Air Force Ones, and I was super basic. And I guess they respect that. Me and Red, he had the black Air Force Ones, I had the white Air Force Ones, so we had something in common. So it was him and Method Man, like my favorite artist that I met, the realest, craziest.
Yeah, I love Red.
Yeah, I love both of them, But man, I really appreciate you like talking to me and doing this interview. Like, is there anything that you want to like share, like a message that you want like people that maybe want to be in the industry or people that's not in the industry, just something that you feel like more people should know that you've learned that you want them to know?
Nah, I mean, I don't have a message. My message is go hard or don't come in the game.
Ooh.
And that's yeah. If you think you can clout chase your way to the top, you're sadly mistaken. So I would recommend if you have anything other than unwavering faith, a mentality that's, you know, pretty much hard as nails, and a physicality about how you do things, I just recommend don't do it. It's tough. Now, if you want to work for someone, that's a little bit different, but you still gonna have to put in work. So that's all I can say. You're gonna have to be smart too, because it's also a smart person's game. I recommend most people to just get a good dope job. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna come in this, be ready to work hard and not get paid what you're worth and all that, because that's just the game.
So I know you mentioned earlier about mentors and how important it is to have a mentor. Did you had mentors coming up? Did you?
No, I had mentors in my younger years who were very instrumental on the college level, but pretty much after graduation, not so much. You know, Russell Simmons was someone who was always good to all hip hop. I will say he was always good to us, and we did some things, but we never made that crazy deal. I think Russell wanted the crazy deal, and so that's why he ended up making All Def. You know, if you notice, all Russell's companies sounded a little bit like All Hip Hop. So he 360hiphop.com and he had All Def, and they all kind of felt a little like All Hip Hop. But for the most part, we kind of did it on our own, which is not a bragging thing. It's more like, you know, we probably could have looked a little harder.
So with all this, so I think allhiphop.com, weren't y'all like the first, like the first online hip hop? Were y'all the first?
One of the first. We weren't the first.
So how is it now that there's more? How is it now?
It's tough now. Huh? Yeah, it's hard now. You got TMZ. You have, you know, hip hop is so mainstream now, and that's based on not love for the culture. It's based on clicks and views. So everyone covers hip hop now because it's a big business. But we were fortunate enough to start when no one cared about it, or when it was a afterthought, or, you know, you had to be Pac or Big to get a headline. Now, no name rappers get headlines because it's about clicks. So we're still here because I think in a lot of ways we had the vision to start early, but I think we also represent the culture well, and that's why we're still able to do what we do. But yeah, our competitors are multinational, multi-million-dollar companies, and that's a crazy space to be in, especially when you know those folks don't have the community at heart for the most part.
So what's the future for allhiphop.com? What do you see in the next 5-10 years? Like, where are you going?
Well, in 10 years, I hope to be gone. Like, I hope to be gone, like disappeared, gone. Like, I want to be gone.
No, what do you mean, go where?
I want to be on an island, or I want to be on a mountain.
So wait a minute, we need you in the game. What do you mean? You can't go nowhere.
Not in 10. No, not in 10. But I'll give you 5.
So you're gonna give us another 5 years and that's it?
I give you a good 5, but 10 is almost out of the question.
So have you taken somebody underneath you to train and to show them the ropes?
Well, we're not gonna get into that because that's a whole nother story. But we'll see. That's possible, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works. But as far as all hip hop, we're working on something really big. I can't announce it right now, but we're going to expand the platform in big ways now. Visually, I can say, you know, the visuals are going to change, and how we approach the content we create will be distributed on multiple platforms, so that we can, you know, properly monetize, properly cannibalize our own content. We're doing great stuff every day, but understand that everybody is not congregating around all hip hop the way they used to. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, You know, they're on YouTube, and capturing those audiences is something that we intend to do.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I know you.
Thanks.
I know you will. Whatever. I mean, I've watched you. I've been watching you. You inspire me, and like I know I don't really. I just be watching. So I watch you guys. I watch all of you guys, and it's just you guys are inspiring. I know it's hard. Like I mean, it looks good, but I know it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm always here. My inbox, you know, I'm here if you ever need to chit chat. You know, I'm always here. I look at you like my BET family is like my family. You know, like even if I don't see y'all and we don't talk for a while, you guys are always gonna be my family. You guys are. I looked up to you guys. Like I was like I was the same age as the interns at BET. They thought I was an intern. I'm like, nah, baby, I get a check.
Right.
I work here. Put some respect on my name. Like why you no intern? But you know, I always looked up to you guys, and I just want to say thank you. And you, I mean, anytime I needed to come into the office and talk to you, and was it Black Spot? Was it Black Spot?
Yeah.
Yes. I would come in there sometimes just to get away. I'll come in, you know, holler at you guys and just walk by, smile, because I always knew that I can get a smile from you. Like some days it'll be hard, and I can just walk by your office and.
That's
so. I just want to say
those are good times, and I still talk to all those folks.
Yeah.
I don't talk to everybody from BT, but Black Spot, Mike, Street, Tanya, Elan, Johnson, we all still talk.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hopefully I know they did a virtual reunion. Did you see that? Did you? Okay.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I didn't get to see it, but hopefully I can maybe one day when all the COVID stuff is over, they actually have another reunion type deal. So
yeah, I'll be at that.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't forget about the little people. I feel all special.
We already know.
But thank you.
No doubt. I'll build.
So I will. Is it okay if I take the video and then do my little Jodi inspired thing and stuff on it? Is that good? Am I alright to that? All right, good. Yeah, and you can feel free to do if you want to post it or whatever and cut it up or whatever you want to do. You can. And I would. That'd be cool.
All good.
All right. I enjoy talking to you. I love. We can do this again. I mean, if you down for it, I am so open to have another conversation in the future if you're down for it.
For sure.
All right, cool. Well, you have a good night. All right, talk to you later. Allhiphop.com, baby. That's Chuck Creekmur. All right, baby. I'll talk to you. Bye.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Chuck. I hope you guys got some good information from us. And I guess until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. This is your girl Jodi Ann with Jodi Inspires, the Jodi Inspires show, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Oh, and make sure you like and follow my page if you want to see more videos, because I'm sure there's gonna be more of this. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be educational and all that good stuff. All right, talk to you guys later. This is your girl Jodi. Love ya. Peace.